Hi everyone, welcome back to Ibrox. We are here after Rangers 1, Tottenham Hotspur 1. Rangers get another point in the Europa League. Chris, it was a really good performance and close to a perfect result. You'd have taken that pre-match if you're Philippe Clement, and the fact that Rangers are kind of ruined what might have been with the result tells you, I think, how good the performance actually was on the night.
A point gained, two dropped.
Kinda.
How do you sum
It's
up?
hard to be critical, isn't it?
How do you sum up a game like that against
Yeah.
a Premier League opposition? We spoke pre-match about the quality that Spurs had. We spoke about their attacking threat. Rangers nullified it for large spells, and carried huge attacking threat of their own for large spells. Scored a really good goal. Could have, should have, maybe got another one. If they go 2-0 up, I think they go on and win the game. Even at 1-1, you're then looking at the Dessers chance late on. Clement said in his press conference here he thought Dessers had scored. It's a really good save. You have to give the goalkeeper a lot of credit for it. But the fact that Rangers were even in the game at that stage, as you say, you would have taken that beforehand.
Yeah.
But I think people would have left here tonight, enjoyed it, had a great night in terms of atmosphere, a really encouraging performance. But you think that game was there. That game was there to win. We've been disappointed leaving Ibrox a few occasions over the course of the season, but this is disappointing for a very different reason.
Yeah, because I guess it's not. It's not. I think at the full time, the stadium is still a really good atmosphere because it is a fantastic point against a team who have had a difficult few weeks, but still away from home have been really strong in the Premier League. You could see their quality from the first moment they created the chance when they played to the Rangers press. We thought, oh, this could be long. So I don't think you're disappointed at the fact that I think the only disappointment would be it's not quite that historic result that it would have been. But Rangers continue some good form, which is they've played themselves into over the last couple of weeks. I thought actually you need to give Clement a lot of credit tonight for the way he set his team up because he had Ridvan and Shefty together, and Ridvan was one of the better players I thought on the ball, but off the ball because of the way Spurs were playing down that right hand side. He gave you natural defensive cover. He's often going back into left back areas. Hamman, another excellent showing from him, and gave Rangers an outball at the top end of the pitch. I guess if we take the first half in isolation, the only criticism would be that Rangers probably missed the final pass, and Nico Raskin spoke about, we'll come on to him, but he spoke about that in the mix zone. He said it's just that final action that was sometimes missing from Rangers play because they broke through on goal, more times than Spurs did in that first half alone.
It's those moments, those fine margins. I think the one that comes to mind is probably the Cherney
On his right foot.
He makes that break. He plays the wrong pass. I'm sure if he had his time again, he would stick it through Tigaman rather than try to go to. I think it was Ridvan that was making the opposite run. I'm sure if he had that chance again, he wouldn't make that pass. And there were just a few moments like that. Now Cherney actually had a lot. I thought he played well overall, but it was sometimes that final pass, that final bit of movement, the final shot just perhaps not quite there. But you're nitpicking at that again. I thought he was really good. You touched on Ridvan there. I thought he was really impressive. Played in that more advanced role. I turned to you at one point as he popped up in the number 9 position. Something that I never thought I would see. Yeah. The manager was really full of praise for him post match. He's just come back from another long-term injury. He said that he's a warrior. I don't know if warrior is the right word for Ridvan because he has missed a lot of football of late and over his Rangers career, but I thought he was really good tonight. I thought Shefty was good.
Yeah,
it's hard to pick a failure in that Rangers side. You probably can't pick a failure. I thought a number of really encouraging individual performances, but the biggest encouragement of all is the collective performance. A really good night for Clement. He had to make some big calls in terms of his selection. He's had to change what has been a winning formula, and he shows that he can change it and still get a tune out this side. So certainly plenty to build on. And you look at the last couple of weeks. Obviously, beating Kelly was good. Beating Ross County was good, but this is a very different level. This is a statement performance. Didn't quite get the statement win, but I think on the night Rangers certainly deserved it.
Yeah, because even though Spurs weren't great on the night, a lot of that I think had to do with the fact that Rangers were able to keep them quiet. And I think the difference from the Lyon performance was that number of differences, but that if you look at the profiles in that team, having Ridvan and Shefty in there, Nico Raskin at the base of midfield, amongst others, made a huge difference. The Rangers goal, Hamza Egaman, his 5th goal I think now for Rangers, maybe his 6th. he could chest absolutely anything, couldn't he? Because he always takes the ball down in his chest so well. It was a really good ball from James Tavernier, who generally I think had a pretty good night. Would have given away a penalty had the referee not blown for it, and that was probably the one moment where Rangers didn't quite press as a team, and that gap down the side of between the centre back and the full back, Spurs were able to expose it. But Iggaman's finish was excellent, and you talk about that moment in the first half. I thought you were referencing with Cherney earlier, where he didn't take the shot on his right foot, and he probably should. It's two nutmegs from Iggaman in the build-up that creates that. He's a really exciting player, and the whole narrative about him has been, there's rough edges to his game, it's going to take him a bit of time. He's going to be a good player in a year if that's the case, because I thought out there he was arguably the best attacker on the night.
Definitely. Another brilliant overall individual performance from him. The manager mentioned in his press conference he also went down, looked like a bit of cramp. Hopefully that's all that is, because come Sunday he's going to be such an important player for Rangers. They have a different dimension when he plays. He offers so much, not just as a focal point of the attack. You see him drifting into different areas. He can take people on. As you say, he's better in the air. He's better at holding the ball up. He's not afraid to have a shot, and his finish is a really, really accomplished finish.
Yeah.
A lovely ball from Tav, a very James Tavernier type of cross. Something we've perhaps not seen an awful lot of this season, but a bit more like it from him. A nice cross, big man to have that composure, have the awareness to finish it first time. And for a guy of his age who has played a limited amount of football at this level, a limited amount of football in general, it's a really, really accomplished finish. We've spoken a lot about him at the start of the season of when's he going to be ready. I think we can safe to say he's ready, and he is your Rangers number 9 right now. Yeah,
and it was a surprise. You still saw him drift out to the left wing at points, and Bayrami kind of fulfil that Danilo role of pushing up higher, although he's not as natural there. But it's easy to forget that, what was Nice, 3 weeks ago?
It feels like such a long time, because so much always happens in the world of Rangers. I think it was 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, but it was a big surprise that he started then, and his development within that time. I remember speaking to someone a few months ago, and they said there was this belief he'll surprise people, Iggaman, and he came on. It was a Celtic Park. He came on away from home. That was the first time anyone had seen him. Showed a couple of nice touches, drifted out of things again. Was good off the bench against Dundee United, but it feels like now he's really arrived. And again, similar to Chefty for me, and both of these guys are, I think, examples of Rangers recruiting in different ways, recruiting a new mark. The type of thing they've spoken about, I don't think have done enough. They don't look like they're playing with the weight of the world on their shoulders, because Chefty again tonight is up against difficult opponents, and he's still 20 years old. I don't think enough's been. Maybe it's because I keep banging on about him. But I don't think quite enough has been made of his season. So without being incredible, the fact that he has been, I think, so consistent is impressive too. But I want to talk about Nico Raskin, because he was my man of the match. Your man of the match?
I would give it to Raskin in a field of a number of strong contenders. I thought Raskin once again was excellent. You've also just spoken to him in the mix zone. People can go on the site and on the channel and look at that interview. I thought he was really good. The manager spoke about him. Stevie asked him about Raskin. He had a long-winded answer about his cross. Raskin said the other day about his new diet and how he's got the help of the Rangers chef, and the manager said it's not just Raskin that's benefiting from that take-home service. There's other players that are getting that, especially the single members of the squad, because it will help them when they settle down with a partner one day. It's good if they can do their bit in the kitchen. So Rangers are preparing players for life at home, as well as on the pitch. But it's a very Clement style answer. He mentioned Mrs. Clement in that answer as well, which he tends to do from time to time. But he went back to the more serious point of Raskin adapting to that new position. I think Nico mentioned that last week when he spoke.
It's where he should have been playing all along, isn't it? I mean, remember when he was playing against Hibs as number 8 and Barron was at the number 6? It should have been like that.
You're now seeing the best of Raskin, because he's in a position that he's fully capable of playing. I thought that tonight was just another really accomplished showing. The last couple of weeks he's been Rangers standout performer. The other one I think has been John Souttar, a blow that he also came off. The manager said post-match still too early to get a full diagnosis on him. So I think it's everything crossed that John wakes up in the morning and it's not that bad. Whilst the manager speaks 4:30 or so on Friday, hopefully he's got a positive update, because I think Suter has been really impressive over the last couple of weeks. So it'd be a blow if he doesn't make it, but it looks like everyone else, well, fingers crossed that Hamman's okay, it looks like everyone else has come through. You're back in that squad to go again. A number of these guys will have to go and play again, and Nico Raskin is one of the first names on the team sheet for Sunday.
Yeah, we're going to have a piece tomorrow on the website which talks a little bit about Raskin's story at Rangers, and one of the details within it is the fact that Rangers were looking at number 6 throughout the summer. They didn't kind of sign maybe quite the number of players they planned to, but one of the details that I think can be missed out in a transfer window is that sometimes not signing a player can also not be a good signing, but it can be the right decision. It's taking Clement, I think, longer than it should have to play Raskin there. Yes, he's been coming back to full fitness, but when he first came into the club, he didn't start Raskin at number 6. Rangers haven't had a proper number 6 since Stephen Davis. That's the truth of it. I don't think, they played John Lundstrom there for a long time. But you see Raskin tonight, his ability to cover ground. I think he's maturing as a player, because when he played as number 6 before under Beale, there was an erratic element to his game which can still show, but isn't there to quite the same extent. Rangers obviously were somewhere down the line with Joan Jordan to try and bring him to the club in the summer, and there was other opportunities in the number 6 market, but part of the reason that they didn't maybe push through for a non-ideal candidate was a belief that you don't want to block the pathway of someone like Raskin, who I think it's fair to say, Chris, is starting to become the player that everyone thought he would be a year ago, just over a year ago. And it's probably again a little bit indicative of the fact that when you change manager a lot, when you change system, it can disrupt players' pathways. He's not had consistency through injury or performance. The run he's had in the team at the moment is the longest run he's had since he came to the club in 2023. So maybe it's no surprise that he's actually playing some of his best football again.
No, he also came in during that January window under Michael Beale. That second half of the season, people thought there's definitely a player here. This guy is going to go on and become a really good player for Rangers. There's going to be a tidy profit in him as well, and he just looked as if he ticked so many boxes. The first full season, we really expected him to take it up a level and really go and kick on, and for one reason or another, it just didn't happen. Obviously, Beale had his issues, which then filtered into the team. Nico had his injury problems. He just never really got going. This season, he then goes into it, fresh start, picks up that injury in that bounce game against Ajax, a really bad tackle on a public park, and that then sets him back again. That then sets him back again, and it takes a wee bit of time to get going. It's safe to say he's now fully up and running. I say the last couple of weeks he's been Rangers' most impressive and most consistent performer, and long may it continue.
He was the best. I think he was the best player in the park tonight. All told. Anything else to cover? Have we missed anyone? Any individuals?
No, I think we've covered all the bases. Covered all the main bases.
Yeah, I guess we'll obviously be live in the morning. Johnny's on in the morning, so people can look forward to that. But the main thing, I guess, coming out tonight is that a couple of weeks ago, this Spurs game was. People were dreading it.
Carried a bit of fear factor about it.
And suddenly, while Rangers are still the underdogs going into the cup final, the mood is lighter, the squad looks stronger, and I guess Clement will now just be holding his breath to see who's available tomorrow. Obviously hear from him tomorrow at the training ground as well, but Rangers go into the cup final in a better place than we thought they would be a couple of weeks ago, fair to say.
Definitely. So you see the mood round about here tonight. There was no how many times have we sat on that gantry and there's been boos and there's been people shouting and swearing, and there's just been a real kind of downbeat vibe round about Ibrox. That wasn't there. So from the first whistle tonight, everyone was up for it. It felt like a big game. Rangers had to then go and deliver a big performance. They did. Now, in terms of performances and that requirement to deliver, Sunday takes it up again. The manager will be fully aware of that. Players will be fully aware of that. Yes, you get a bit of credit. You deserve the plaudits from tonight. Ultimately, you're judged on silverware at Rangers, and that's the opportunity that they have on Sunday.
Absolutely right. We'll leave it there. We'll be live in the morning. Remember, you can subscribe to the Rangers Review, read that piece we mentioned about Raskin, and amongst lots of other content from today's game, from the weekend's game, and lots of other things that Rangers not even mentioned. The breaking news you broke earlier on about the Rangers Chief Commercial Officer who's left the club, but plenty more on the website, which you can go and check out. If you've not subscribed to the YouTube channel, please do that for free as well. But until then, thank you for joining us. We'll speak to you in the morning. Bye for now.